Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing just a little bonus segment. I wanted to share with you a short film that I recently completed. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the background and history of this, and then that short film, Space Limbo, will be getting published live on my YouTube channel, and I hope that you will check it out. I am part of a writers group, and it's a group of writers and actors who get together once a week. We did it in person, and then during COVID, we started gathering on Zoom. So one of the actors in the group sort of challenged the writers to create something during COVID that we could potentially shoot while we were all sort of having to isolate. So I took up the challenge and wrote just a little short film, and I brought it into the writers group, and we read it as a group there. And people seemed to like it. So they thought, oh yes, we definitely need to do this. So I created something that could be shot each character individually. We could maintain distance if we had to. It could even be shot via Zoom. So that was the beginning of the concept. Fortunately, as things progressed, I was able to find a location that would work with the help of one of the producer actors. And I pulled together a little crew of people that several of whom I worked with on my film, Inclusion Criteria / Nowhere to Hide, my director of photography, Chris Bond, who I absolutely love working with. I've worked with him on multiple projects. I invited him, asked him, begged him, pleaded with him to come on board and work as my director of photography and shoot the camera work for me. And then one of the actresses from my movie, who also sometimes works as a producer, I was having lunch with her one day, and I was talking about the project, and that there were aspects of producing that I understood and other aspects that were difficult for me and that I just needed some help. And she said, well, I'll help you. And I said, I take you up on it. And so wonderfully, she came on board and she helped pull together my crew and a number of other behind the scenes elements. And I just learned so much doing this. I had to learn about more of the administrative business side of producing. When I had produced things before, it was usually as a creative, where I was involved in pulling together, hiring talent and working with the script and what was the concept for the thing, but not dealing with unions and contracts and insurance and locations and all kinds of things like that. So there were a lot of things I needed to learn. So it was a wonderful experience for me in learning new things, and a number of people came on board and were incredibly helpful. And so I made my way through the project, and we found this. It's all supposed to take place in a travel through space, hence the name Space Limbo. The concept being that a number of people in some unspecified future, people are choosing to take little space pods to other galaxies, other planets, to start a new life on a new planet. And so each of these various different people who are traveling in their own little space pods to whatever destination they've chosen are sort of keeping video logs along the way. So we learn about each of these people and what's perhaps prompting their journey, what they're hoping to discover and change in their life by going someplace new, what their dreams and goals are. So it's each of them on their own little journey. So that was sort of the concept, and I brought together the actors from my writers group that had originally read the script, and to some degree then it was crafted for them. I'm a firm believer, when I like working with people, I like to keep working with them. So if I've worked with someone and I've enjoyed it, then if I'm putting a project together, I call people I know because I like them, I know their work, I know we work well together. And if you can't hire your friends, then what's the point? So I met some new wonderful people, and I got to bring together some people that I love working with. There are some behind the scenes pictures from the filming and some little snippets of video from when we were shooting. We did a 2-day shoot, and we found this wonderful pre-existing sort of little spaceship set at this studio in Hollywood. So we went in for 2 days, and you'll see some before pictures where there was like a berthing area on this little spaceship, and there were certain little workstations. There was a middle hallway. There was a cockpit. There's sort of a equipment, military guns and weapons sort of area. And so we had 8 characters, and so we doubled some of the areas. We would put certain set dressings in a space, and we would shoot one person there, and then we would change the set dressing to make it look like it was somebody else's area. Same thing with the berthing. We might change the blankets or the pillows or the little decorative things in there. We used the cockpit for a couple of different characters. So we did that sort of thing in just taking a simple little set and changing the set dressing for it. So that was a lot of fun, and you see a little bit of video of different areas and the way in which we were, some of the shooting. In some cases, you'll see in the cockpit, when we were filming, there was a green screen in front of the spaceship. So then in post-production, we found like video that in space. And so that video, those images were then superimposed in the spaceship in place of the green screen. So there were different things like that occurred. So you'll see some of those types of things. You'll also see some of just the small areas that we were working in, and the way in which the director of photography, who is also running the camera, so he's looking through one lens. There's times where you see me, I was directing the project, where I'm sort of looking into his monitor to see what he's shooting, and then there's times where I'm sitting outside of the set where I can, on a video monitor, be watching from there what is actually happening during the filming, so I can, determine, did we get that take? Do I like that take? So there's various different little shots like that you see here in some of these behind the scenes pieces. Once we had the 2 days of footage, I found an editor that was recommended to me who was absolutely wonderful. And so all the footage went to him. He worked off of the original script and put together an edit for me that was originally about 35 minutes long. We wanted this to be at least just under 20 minutes. So I had to find a way to edit out about 15 minutes of film. So on a 35-minute film, you're talking just almost half the footage. So it was very difficult to make those sorts of decisions in terms of editing it down. So there was a lot of work involved with that. My editor was fabulous, giving me suggestions, working back and forth with me. Once we had that sorted out, I, through another dear friend, his son is starting to do some film composition and original music, so I worked with him to create some original music for the film. So that was very cool to work with him and figure out what was going to best tell that story. So just wonderful things like that happened in post-production. So it was a number of months from the time we finished shooting until we got all the way through all of the editing and the music and everything else. Then I submitted it to a number of film festivals. You might have seen some of my posts on Facebook and Twitter that we were accepted to a number of festivals. We won Best Narrative Short at a festival. And so it's kind of had a little bit of a festival life. And now I am just ready to share it with anyone and everyone. So I'm also going to be putting Space Limbo live on my channel here with no other introduction, but I do hope that you'll take a look at it and allow me to share with you this little project that was sort of a labor of love made during COVID. Thanks so much for watching this little special bonus segment here on my channel, and I hope that you will now take a look and find Space Limbo, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching.